Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad to hear this Tuesday morning, the last Tuesday of July of 2015, wrapping up this hot July. And we'll be glad when it's over. Hot. It's going to be only going to be 95 today. That's what the weather service is calling for. That's here on the coast. So you guys inland and ladies up there, y'all, it's going to be roasting and all. But now later on in the week, they're calling about a 60 or 70% chance of rain. They've been starting last week. They were toying around with this idea of this little tropical depression and all between here and Tampa. And they don't know if it's going to develop or not. But it's going to be hot and humid, okay? And that's about normal what we're having. Water temperature is 82 degrees. And take a look at our river readings. They're in good shape. The river is right. We're looking at the Apalachicola Bluntstown is at 1.5. Foot and a half right there, not much change. And the Choctawhatchee at Caryville is looking good. It's at an even 4 foot right there. So in good shape there. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent, Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Looking at tides today, we're really good tides. Today is Tuesday, July 28th, I was saying, is 8:11 is a low tide. And then, the high tide is 8:11 and low is at 6:19 tonight. So we've got really good strong tides, but we're going to have a little bit of a wind north-northwest at about 5 to 10. Like I say, 60% chance of rain starting tomorrow, so be aware of that. And good tidal flow, though. Really, really good situation there. I've seen a lot of bait fish over the weekend and yesterday, too. A lot of bait fish are in the bay, and which is a good sign. A lot of things moving around now. All right, we're going to take our break, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Appreciate you supporting all our sponsors. They do a good job and really enjoy and know all of them and all. And they just, we really have a good situation with our sponsors, and we're on there because of the support you give our sponsors. So thank y'all very much. Take a look at some of these pictures. We got some good ones coming this weekend. Also, the last few I have from the show we went to down in Orlando. This is a fly fishing pond. This is sort of at the end. I was telling Jeff we didn't get to spend a lot of time here because by the end of the day we finally got to the fly fishing pond, which is at the far end of it, and we were tired by then. This is the left end of it. Look, and there's a right end. You can see it's not a little pond. It is huge. I think probably about 60 or 70 yards long. It was really huge, so you could fly fish. So next year if we go back, we're definitely going to spend some time at the fly fishing pond there. All right, let's go into, don't forget now, we're going to talk about this a lot, November the 7th, first weekend in November, will be the 8th annual Elizabeth Bardolph Memorial Redfish Tournament. It'll be down at Sunjammers, and we'll talk about that more later. How about a good mess of fish? Okay, this is Tommy Oliver. Tommy went by himself on this trip, and his wife wasn't there to help him out. It was a good mess of fish from Tommy from the river there. Check out this next picture. This is fascinating. This is a bass. And open up, look in the mouth on the left there, left picture there. See that little baby duck? And you can see the stomach on the right. He's had a couple of them. And I was going to, when I was collecting old fishing lures, I started running across some bird fishing lures, real small and all. And you know, we don't think about bass eating baby ducklings and anything on the water moving at the top. Those bass are going to eat it. And it's fascinating. This is a recent picture. This was in Indiana. This one right here locally is in Indiana. But I saw it so fascinating, I was just going to go ahead and show it to you guys. So maybe you can use a duck decoy and fish with it. All right, Enoch Waddell. We're talking about red grouper. This is a nice red grouper he was caught the other day. Good job, Enoch. All right, I love this picture here. This is one of my former students, Lindsay Allen, and she is down with her family vacation, and they are feeding the dolphins at Islamorado down in the Keys. But look, I don't know if you can see the look on her face. She is so excited. They've dropped the fish. Folks, that is a huge tarpon that is coming up. I think it's a dolphin, a huge tarpon. And the tarpon just all over the dock down there, and you can feed them legally and all. And what they were doing, they just had she and the family sent several pictures, but I thought this was good because you can see the look on her face. Those tarpon is exploding out of the water, getting that fish. Great picture there, Lindsay. I don't know I guess your mom took that picture. All right, now, we just finished up the Offshore Classic over in Mexico Beach this weekend. First place, Dolphin. We'll go Dolphin from left to right with the Cement. I think the Cement Company owns that. And 18 pounds. At second place, Extreme at a 6-pound Dolphin. And third place is Shady Lady with a 3.4 pound. Now let's go down to Wahoo, second category, left to right. Peggy Sue won the Wahoo with a 47 pounder. Second place, Long Shot, 19 pounder. Third place was Gag, Georgia grown. A lot of Georgia folks fish that, 19 pounds. Now listen, I want you to go down. What's fascinating to me now is the kingfish category, 5th generation. That's some local boys, a 44-pound king. That is a nice kingfish. I'm going to show that picture in a second. And Extreme also got second place in the kingfish with a 33-pounder, and Flipping Out got a 30-pounder. So the king category, which we're going to be fishing this weekend, 44, 33, and 30. Okay, now here's a picture of that group right there. Okay, that's Captain Clarence Raffield. I got tickled looking. That's why it's called a 5th generation. He's a 5th generation Raffield fishing. It's C.J. Hutchison on the right there. They say we got Brad Leisure, the Dobrings, and a whole group of them there at Mexico Beach Offshore Fishing Classic. Good job, Clarence Raffield, taking care of the local folks winning that king category. The tough competition of those South Georgia boys, I know. Check out this next picture. It's fascinating. Look at this bear. This bear is in Port St. Joe, in the neighborhood, and not in a particular house, but he's at the FWC officer, Hal Webb. He's at Hal's house, and he's reaching up the tree. So y'all just be aware of that. And next, to the right is a trampoline. I'd like to see him jumping on that trampoline. That'd make a good YouTube. All right, for sale. This is folks. This is a good buy here. Now we sold some stuff too the other day. This is hey Coach Joy Jernigan here. This is for sale a Pro Series bow called the Beast. 70-pound max draw, 29-inch draw length, 5 arrows and quiver, stabilizer, limb sabers, glow sight, drop away arrow rest, and string silencers. Being sold with soft case, hard case, and a few extras. $250 or best offer. That is a really good buy there. Now this is Joy Jernigan, lives up there in Bonifay. He also fishes. Joy is an outstanding outdoorsman, and he wanted to know if I want to buy. I told my wife said I had too many toys. But here's Joy's number now, 373-7379. 373-7379. All right, let's move on with these pictures. I ran across this. Makes a lot of sense. For those who have trouble sleeping, a lot of y'all do because you tell me. That's why you get them to watch the show. You can't go back to sleep. Researchers say that 1 week of camping without electronics resets our biological body clock and synchronizes our melatonin hormones with sunrise and sunset. It makes a lot of sense there. So we're always talking about the advantages of camping. Check out this. This is from our loyal viewer, Nat Harris. Nat is a good fisherman. Obviously, he does a lot of salt water, a lot of fresh water. He caught these the other day from Carter Track. Okay, and when you catch them at Carter Track, they're good and fresh. He said he took them home. In fact, I'm going to read his email here. Caught at the Carter Track on Saturday morning. Most average about a pound. It's an awesome day. Had a cookout as soon as they were dressed. Enjoy your show. Keep up good work. Nat Harris on the beach. I watch you Monday through Friday. All right, Nat. Good job there, buddy. Carter Track. Check out these scallops. No, they did not come from Port St. Joe. I was checking them out. I saw that mess of scallops there. This was Sunday afternoon, and they came from Lanark. We talked about scalloping outside Lanark Village down by Carabel. Some folks up in Tallahassee that got these scallops there. That is a nice mess of scallops. So I may jump out of our comfort zone in St. Joe Bay and go down there this year. There's a lot of scallops down there. Okay, got to move on. Junior Talmets with a black drum. This is a nice one there, Junior. And here it is. Here it is on the back of his pickup truck. It is that's a big one. Okay, and then last one, Captain Bill Barlow. He sent me an email. He said, "A great day in the water Sunday morning. My girlfriend Cindy and I caught 5 redfish from 25 to 27 by 7:15 on Big Menhaden. I kept these 4 and at least 1 oversized in good shape. But I just can't find any good-sized trout this time of year. Water temperature was 87 in the bay. Thank you for all you do for us on Panhandle Outdoors, Captain Bill Barlow." Okay, that is a good message right there. Some good pictures. A lot of things happening, from scallops to the redfish to the drum and all. So a good weekend here in Panhandle. Thank y'all for sharing those pictures. And if you're looking for a bow, That's the good buy. I can promise you it's going to sell soon, okay? Just like that boat did last week. Let's take a break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. Since the beginning of fishing, folks have tried to replicate nature and making artificial baits, and I've got a kick out of over the years watching them and all, and it's fascinating at the ingenuity and different things the fishermen come up with. Modern day, when I say modern day, of course, it goes back to Native Americans here in America. Native Americans would use different kind of things to get the fish close by. They'd spear them and different things like that. But the modern, in early 1900s, which was over, of course, Dowagiac, Michigan was really the birthplace of the artificial lure industry when James Hedden was sitting on the back of his wagon and waiting for his buddy to come up in about 1913 and was whittling out a stick and all and threw it out in the water and a bass hit it, and that's Dowagiac and Sons, Hedden and Sons in Dowagiac, Michigan started that. And we talked about it before, and I've got a really good collection of old fishing tackle. And I followed them through. Most of these are wooden bass plugs, okay? And that's where and what they're trying to do is just replicate, like I said, replicate nature. Where in saltwater, they've done the same thing, tarpon fishing with some of the first plugs, really tarpon fishing back in the 1920s and all. They were using some big old single hook plugs. Now, I know it's here locally, but the biggest, for inshore fishermen, the biggest natural bait, most prevalent is shrimp. And it's sort of hard to replicate a shrimp. And I found the Voodoo Shrimp Company is on the top of the world right now as far as the having shrimp, artificial shrimp to fish with. Everybody's using that Voodoo shrimp, and I got an interview coming up with them shortly. But I got out last night. Went upstairs last night, dug out my old fishing plugs, and I found I knew I had an old shrimp somewhere that I'd collected during my collecting days of a local. Local Florida-made tackle. It's from St. Augustine, Florida. I'm going to hold it up right here. This is just a good lure of mine I just really enjoy. It's at the 2002 fishing tackle show, and it was featured there, and it was called you can see right there, it's called a Super Strike, and made out, like I say, down in St. Augustine. And if you notice real closely, see, this is all flexible, and that's what made it. These were made back in the 60s and 70s, and that was really, folks, those shrimpers over there in St. Augustine can really, they do a lot of shrimp in that area. So when they made this, when they got a joint like that, like I say, it's in really good shape to be plastic, and a lot of collectors didn't fool with them because they just were purists and they just wanted some wooden plugs. But a couple of us jumped on these. These were hard to find because the plastic would deteriorate, and a lot of times these joints here would break off and all. But to me, that was the most natural shrimp I'd ever seen. But now Voodoo Bait Company has come up with this one here, and I've got this video coming up. And the thing about innovation about these tackle shows you go to, and every one of these guys will say the same thing in all these booths, they got to come up with something new every year because that's what we want as consumers, something new. Oh, look, let's try that, it's new. So that's why they're competing against other people coming up with something new. And like I say, Sure Strike came up with this a while back, but also Voodoo now is just coming out with all kinds of shrimp. But they got a new one coming out this year. I don't think it hit the shelves yet, but the technology, you can imagine how the technology and lure development has progressed. And that's what's been fascinating to watch and all. And on this video here, you'll see the guys pull the tail and all. And that's one of the big strengths of this Voodoo shrimp is the ability to last a long time. So, Jeff, let's go and roll this video. I think y'all going to enjoy it.
We'll talk about like 2 new products.
Okay. All right, good. Hey, folks, this next booth I came to, first thing that caught my attention was the floor. Okay, can you show the floor, honey? This is my high school colors, orange and black. So, okay, and the next thing that caught my attention was the sign Voodoo Shrimp. And y'all know about you fishermen out there watching, y'all know about our Voodoo Shrimp. We talk about a lot on the show. Ken?
How you doing?
Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you.
Well, listen, a lot of our folks already sold on that Voodoo Shrimp, so we don't have to introduce it. It's been really popular up there. So tell us a little bit about what's coming up.
Well, we got a brand new size. You know, we made the Voodoo in the original size about 3 inches.
Right.
And we put a light jig head. It was about an eighth ounce. We went to a quarter, and we have a new model of 3.5. And we incorporated a little rattle in the belly. Mm-hmm. So if you can see in there, there's a glass rattle. Mm-hmm. And, you know, you can hear it tick, you know, a little tick in there. So we add the rattle to the shrimp, and this is removable. So if a guy says, well, I don't really like rattles, well, okay, you just flip it out. or you put it right in. It's a little kangaroo pocket, like a little pouch.
Yeah, yeah.
So it gives you better casting distance. We got the same bright, good colors,
Yeah.
you know. It's made from the same TPE material.
Yes.
Now that's
what
basically
people love about it.
that's basically tennis shoe material is
Yeah.
what it is. So it's real durable. We've caught as much, when testing, I've caught as many as 100, 150 trout on one bait. But what this will do is there's some guys that like popping corks. The little shrimp's good for the cork, but there's guys that like to free line.
Right.
So in the Florida, I think the Florida market's a more free line guys from spinning. So we designed a little bit heavier bait, a little bit longer tail.
Okay.
Now the big news is we developed a product, a little swim bait called the Mambo Mullet.
Okay.
And that's the same material, real durable material. And we got that's an injured mullet. And if that don't look like a mullet, it swims real shallow.
I like that.
That's a 1/4 ounce pre-rigged bait. And the lead, of course, is right here inside the belly. So it's pre-rigged, ready to go. You don't have to worry about what weight. Now the secret behind this bait is these reverse cups. If you'll look at that bait, there's cups that are reversed.
Yes.
So what that does, we call that reverse hydro technology. That's a fancy name. But what it does is this bait is when you're pulling it towards you, these cups are catching water and want to hold it back. It's like slingshotting the bait. So what it does, it adds lift. So the bait wants to rise instead of fall.
Okay.
So for the shallow water market, it's a world-class swim bait.
Cool.
And that's the Mambo Mullet.
All right.
All this is 2016. New at the show, and we appreciate you coming by.
Listen, man.
And we look forward to doing great numbers of business down in the area.
Listen, and up there now, all our sponsors, Blue Water Outrigger, Sunjammer, C&J, all carry the
All
Blue
carry
shrimp,
the
so
shrimp.
y'all run by and see them. And y'all a subsidiary of Cowboy Outdoors.
Well, so Egret Baits,
Egret-
Cowboy is the
Egret.
company that owns it, but it's Egret Baits, makers of the Voodoo, the Mambo, and the Voodoo Mullet.
All
And
right.
all those dealers down in your area do carry it.
Sounds good.
We
All right.
appreciate it.
Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that. You see what I'm talking about, though, how strong that shrimp is and everything, and it's, of course, a lot more flexible too. So it's going to be interesting to see how. Let me know if you try it out and how you like it and all. That bow I was just talking about a while ago, and that's a left-handed bow. I might not have mentioned that. Really, if you're a good shooter, most good shooters are ambidextrous. You know, you can shoot either way. I can, and I just enjoy it. So whatever. And in fact, sometimes I've seen I'm a more patient shooting left-handed. So be aware of that. Also, the fishing game times. We're going to do the fishing game times brought to us by Mark Coward of Counts Realty. And our times, we're looking at our times this morning at exactly from 10:10 to 12:10, right there, right before lunch. And then we're looking at tonight, 10:38 to 12:38. Okay, I just saw some pictures. I didn't get them on today of some flounder being being gigged the other night. I think it's right at the game times. Books. The Panhandle Outdoors is always proud to talk about our book Full Box. Now, they had run out of books up in Dothan at Southern Outdoor Sports, but I just sent a fresh new box of books up there. They sell really well up there in the South Alabama and north around the state line up there in North Florida. So they got some new books there, new shipment of books. The Fuller family, Doug Fuller started Southern Outdoor Sports, and his son is running it now, and they really do a great job up there, and I appreciate them support. It's the C&G of the South Alabama area, I call it. It's really a good sporting goods store. So I know a lot of y'all go there, and I think that's why the book does so well up there. So thank y'all for doing that. Also, I want to mention the Bayou Bash down in Port St. Joe. The Bayou Bash is always the third Saturday in August. I'll come with more information about where to register and different species they'll have, but go ahead and put it on the calendar if you fish it before. It's always the third Saturday in August. It's good to have these tournaments in August because August is sort of the last dead month because things start popping off in September, but August is sort of a transition month getting us ready, but July is slow and August is usually a little bit slower. So it's good to have it's a challenge on these tournaments here. Okay, I also wanted to mention night fishing, how important it is to go night fishing if you can for bass. I can remember going to Lake Blair Morgan, fishing at night for bass over there up in Tallahassee around Lake Jackson. All really fun. A lot of fish are being caught at night now. And also, don't forget this time of year. I know the boys up there in different parts of the viewing area don't want me to mention it, but there is a good market now, a good time to go gigging on the river for flounder on these sandbars. Not very many people do it. It's a pretty well kept secret. It's sort of like when the flathead fishing first came out, not a lot of people did it. But it's, you know, go out there and get you a good mess of fish and all right, for river floundering. Now I want to talk about the Carter track. You saw those pictures earlier that Nat Harris had caught those fish out of the Carter track. We've talked about it on the show before, and he caught those in July. This is tough, like I say, this is tough fishing. And he, you know, they caught those and had a good fish fry. I liked it. Right after they cleaned them, they cooked them up. They don't get any better than that. But the Carter track is up there on about 5 miles north of Highway 20 on Highway 77 in Greenhead. And here's a little schematic picture of it. And if you notice on the picture, that all the little dots is a series of ponds. It's not just one pond right there. One pond, it's many ponds. You have the first pond is right there, what's called Deep Edge, going down the road, a little pond on the right. But the two main ponds are Black Pond and Dry Pond. And they're the two big ones. And then the road, each one of those little dots, the place is a boat launch. Now you cannot take your own boat in there. You have to use their boats. And they limit it to 16 fishermen. And it's Friday through Monday, and you can call and get reservations. They make reservations for 10 people, and then they cut off reservations. The other 6 spots are first come, first serve. And you can make reservations up to 60 days out, and you can only reserve 2 boats at a time. Really good fishing. It's old school fishing, worming, crickets, and just fun fishing. Those boats are fairly heavy, be aware of that, but it's a great place, great location. It's got a great history. That Carter track started as they bought it, Fish U. Carter had it back in the 60s, and the state bought it as part of a deal to reclaim some marsh, what they call mitigation process, to reclaim some marshlands from developers. Developers gave them money to fill in the marsh, and the state bought that property. That's how that worked on that. It's a good story. So it's a win-win for the outdoorsmen, so we appreciated that. I'm going to run out of time. Be sure and tune in tomorrow. Really appreciate you watching Panhandle Outdoors. Get a lot of feedback. Thanks for the email. I got a couple more emails I didn't read, so I'll read those for you tomorrow. You have a great day at work. Do the best you can. And always do something good for your fellow man. God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.